Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So Paula decided that she wanted to start streaming and gaming on a PC. So a little backstory, she usually plays on the PS5 or a Nintendo Switch, but with all the new games coming out, she wanted to start playing on a PC. So what we did is we went on a hunt to build a PC computer with pretty decent parts, so I would call this a mid-tier PC, just so she can play the most recent games and upcoming games like maybe GTA 6 when that does come out. So we didn't want to break the bank. We gave ourselves a limit. The limit is $1,000 and below, or pretty close to $1,000. So for the case, we went with the NZXT H1V2. And the reason for this is since this is an extra PC, it will have to go in our bedroom, not our studio. And we don't have a ton of space, so we wanted to go with the Mini-itx build. But the problem with Mini-itx builds is there's usually a Mini-itx tax. Parts are more expensive, but this right here, the NZXT, was a good deal. The reason I say that is if you guys look up cases for Mini-itxs, you usually get like the Fractal Torrent Nano, the Fractal Terra, and the case alone goes for like $170, $180. Well, this one is $199, usually $400, and it already comes with an liquid AIO, and it also comes with a 750 power supply, and it already has case fans. So honestly, that's a good deal. And then motherboards, B650 Mini-itx motherboards are really hard to come by, and they're usually pretty expensive, but I got this new ASRock motherboard. I think this just came out a month ago. This is the first time I've ever seen it on Newegg. And the cool thing about this is it's Mini-itx, and it was only $199. And it already has Wi-Fi 6E. Usually, motherboards under 200 doesn't even have a Wi-Fi card. And the cool thing about this is it has two M.2 slots. If we ever need to get more memory, it has one Gen 5 M.2 and also one Gen 4 M.2. So, really cool. And for the processor, we got the AMD Ryzen 5 7600. There are cheaper processors than this, like the previous generation AM4, that was going for about $130, but this one was $199 at Best Buy. And AM5, the reason we got this is just in case she wants to upgrade in the future, we can. And not only that, there is the 7600X version and the 7600. So since this one's cheaper, we got this one, and it's still pretty close to the 7600X. But because this is a Mini-itx build, we wanted to keep the heat low. So we got this one. So it uses much less power, and that should be good for thermals for the NZXT1 case. For the SSD, we have the Western Digital Black 1TB. We got this one because this is what was available at Best Buy. I think we paid $79 for this. There are cheaper M.2 SSDs. The Team Force SSD, I think they're about $49, and it's also 1TB. But I thought this was good enough, pretty decent, reputable company. And for the RAM, we got some DDR5, 6000 hertz. Should be pretty good enough, and 16 gig per stick. So overall, the PC will have 32 gigs. So that's pretty exciting. And for the graphics card, I debated a couple times because I saw an RX 6800 for $379. However, RX 6800s are so huge, it wouldn't fit in this case. So we decided to go for the XFX RX 6700 XT. We went with that because that's literally the best bang for your buck 1440p graphics card, and it was only $299 at Best Buy at the time. So if you guys don't know, graphics cards are weird right now. There's only one true king graphics card, which is the 4090, and that's going for $2,000. Not good with a build like this. And then the 4080, they're still expensive. They're like, I think $1,400-$1,500. But honestly, the 3080 Ti is almost just as good. But those are still very expensive. The 4070, honestly, is expensive, but it's not that much better than this guy. So, and this one's only $299. So yeah, like graphics cards are crazy right now because, let me explain. So even though they say they're newer. Not all of them are faster than previous generations. Like the 6800 XT from AMD from 2020 is still faster than the 2021 version, which honestly, I don't know what's going on with that, but they need to address that somehow. But the cool thing about that is because those are happening, graphics card prices has plummeted down the toilet. So really excited. So yeah, I think overall, with all of these combined, I think we're just exact at $8,000, especially that this guy already came with an AIO, and it already came with a power supply. We're gonna put this build together, and then let's go check it out, see the benchmark. I'll let you know my opinion, if we did a good job, or if there's anything lacking with this build. Okay, so we're currently in Paula's studio. So I didn't realize I was matching the walls, but we're gonna build this PC, and let me show you guys the build. Have you ever built a PC before?
No, this is my very first time. This case first.
Okay, so it looks like our build is complete. How was it?
Wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Just
cool.
wanting to make sure that everything that was fragile is not, snapping, but everything, kind of clicks into place once you know where to go.
Now we just need to see if it actually works.
Yes. Well, I need to close it up.
Alright guys, I'm back. So I have some thoughts after building this $1,000 gaming PC. Paula built this and she's never built a PC before, and working on the NZXT H1 V2 was really easy. Like, I think it took her about an hour and a half and we were literally up and running. So really appreciate the small case from NZXT. There is a con of this case, obviously. Like, when it's going full speed, since there's not a lot of cooling, the fans are just spinning. If you're used to a mid-tower PC, like, there's some games where you can't even hear the fans, but since this is a Mini-itx, the fans are going. Fortunately, the temperatures are very good. Playing games, the hottest it got was 75 degrees. That's pretty cool. For benchmarks, I tested out a couple of games. So Paula plays Lego Fortnite with her friends. So on epic settings, it gets about 80 to 90 FPS. On high settings, it gets 100 to 110 FPS, and in medium settings it gets about 120 to 140. So we just kept it there on medium. And then I tried out Remnant 2. So Remnant 2 was a pretty demanding game. So without scaling, it was getting about 60 to 80 FPS. And if you turn on AMD FSR, you get about 120 FPS. So that's pretty cool, very playable. Graphics are still very good. So if you get this and play 1440p Remnant 2, I would keep it at the AMD FSR, and you'd still get over 120 FPS. Another game that we tried is Tomb Raider. I just did the benchmark, and after doing the benchmark on high settings, it got 140 FPS. So pretty standard, pretty good. Dying Light 2 is the same as Remnant 2. So if there's no scaling, just straight up 2560 times 1440 resolution, you get about 60 to 80 FPS. And then if you put AMD FSR in balance, you get about 120 to 140 FPS. And the last game I tried, obviously this is for your more competitive people out here, is Valorant. And I thought this was kind of weird because I've been playing Valorant for a long time, so I know what the FPS looks like. And to my surprise, with the same settings I have on it, I swear to God, this PC gets more FPS than my current PC. Which is insane because The graphics card in this is only a 6700 XT, and I have a 3080 Ti. And that's crazy because if you look up the prices of 3080 Ti, they're about $1,300. And this whole PC build was literally $1,000. So my graphics card alone is more expensive than this whole PC. But running Valorant, Breeze Deathmatch on this, and for some reason the FPS on Paula's new computer never dipped below 500, which is kind of odd because on my computer, when I'm playing Breeze, I would get FPS from 300 to 500, and I didn't even see her computer dip below 500. So which makes me think that maybe my computer once in a while freezes is because I have a pretty bad SSD. It's one of those XPG SSDs, and hers is a Western Digital Black, or DDR5 is truly just that much better than DDR4. I mean, for the processor, I have a Ryzen 7 5800X, and obviously for her, she's only using a Ryzen 5 7600. So, very surprising because for performance, honestly, pretty close. And if I had to daily this, I wouldn't even mind it. So, that is my conclusion in that. Really cool build, really excited to see how she uses it. She's gonna be streaming with her friends, and I'll play games with her. So yeah, if you like videos like this where I just like talk a little bit more and less b-roll, more conversational for me and you, please let me know. I'll try to do more videos like this. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I have some new gear that I want to review. I recently purchased the Sony in-ear headphones, just because that's probably the best headphones for the PlayStation Portal. So that review's coming up. And then again, we're waiting for the 2024 monitors. So that's what's in line for us. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.